All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Dr. Stone, Season 1, Episode 4. All right, so we're getting into our goal of getting gunpowder.
That's right, because what other way to stop an Aztec god of fitness than with a gun?
Catch
that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dodge this. All right, Senku, sure, why not?
Yep, there we go.
Speaking of Senku, we heard loud and clear your guys' comments,
yes.
And upon going back and checking at the previous episodes, I realized, I took a little bit of creative liberties with my theories regarding his potential motivations here. He seems to be a boy that, if anything, has a little bit of a unique perspective on things. But he definitely wants to save the human race, for by and large. Yes.
Even if maybe the science boner is the bigger part, maybe of that desire to save the human race.
Yes, beating fantasy with science gives him probably a massive, hard, stony,
that's right,
throbbing, pulse in his brain,
and he will happily pound his way through whatever he has to, be it a Buddha statue or otherwise, in order to seek his goal of beating fantasy with science.
Right. Because this game of Minecraft has no limits.
And
Tsukasa, he's not playing in the safe mode, so...
Right. Tsukasa is definitely fantasy. So, I know he was definitely my fantasy. But... Yeah.
So, y'all, there's a tough goal ahead of them. There's a freak of nature chasing behind them. That we've got a good boy who might be a little bit of a protect horny boy as well.
Let's hope he got the horny boy aspects, because they need to start, like keeping the human race going again sometime.
I mean, we could just, petrify more people.
Sure, I suppose that's true.
We could be okay.
Yeah.
But
until then.
Yeah, but until then, we might want to start thinking about... either thinking about developing a colony of sorts with more people, a community, so that you at least outnumber... Tsukasa a little bit more than just 3-1. Or maybe this.
And hey,
important.
Taiju's stamina is unrivaled. So
oh my god,
Oh
my god, you're right. Wow. Y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, and then come back here for the discussion. Senku's dead. Show's over. Everyone, we can go home.
Hey, it's called Dr. Stone, not Dr. Senku. Well, sure. Wait, what are you talking about? Taiju, they established that wasn't going to happen until the very end of the series.
Doctor to be boned later.
Right.
Now, here's what's like the crux of this episode here. He will never give up science. Science is who he is. And the thing is that he chose this, but he had his choice reinforced by an awesome dad who sold his car.
And that was just at the beginning.
All the money
he probably
to start this thing.
He probably did more as it went on, because
I would assume
those rockets, those were probably expensive.
Yeah, I don't know if there ended up being some way in which his experiments would become, a way that he could
monetize them, and
but probably not, because most of it just ends up with the thing breaking and or just not working, and so therefore it doesn't lead to much. But my god, so this is probably my favorite use of a parent figure in a story of a shonen protagonist that's not around because the premise can't have shonen protagonists with their parents around. I get it, but the idea that it's like no, we don't have anything like weird going on. It's just a wholesome dad who's
super wholesome dad.
You want to be an astronaut? You want to be a scientist?
Yep.
You know what? I can bike to work. I can take the bus.
Oh man.
Here you go. Here's stupid money for a kid.
Yep.
And I'm not going to give it to you so you can choose what to buy. I'm just going to give you everything I think you could possibly need and just be like, here you go.
Yep.
That's a privileged thing to start from.
It's 10 billion% awesome.
Yeah, it's 10 billion% awesome.
Because in this show, the show is so extreme. The show is so extreme and so extra that, of course, you're gonna have a backstory moment to explain why this science kid is so extra with science and everything. Yeah. You go beyond, plus ultra and everything with that dad. Like that was like, I did not expect that. Because with this show so far, I'm like, okay, exciting premise. You know, there's puzzles that they'll have to solve. Yeah. It's kind of educational because you'll see how they make the things and all that stuff.
Right.
And you've got pillar men. You know, like, okay, cool, right? I didn't expect. Let's go back and have a wholesome, you know, bit with the dad and showing how adorable little baby Senku, you know, like actually started learning science and things like that. It's like, man, that was great.
Wonderful.
That was awesome.
And I like what they did also to showcase that the dream that he had was something that he actually was able to attain, even though he didn't attain it, really.
Yeah.
But he did go to space.
Right.
He sent his science experiments into space. And he did what he set out to do. Yep. And it was also something that I actually really appreciate here. It was not something that he did by his own efforts.
Yes.
It's the combination of not just his dad helping him there, but also even
Taiju
and Yuzuriha. Because you saw Taiju taking those blows for him there and being even though he goes flying off in the background.
Right.
I love it because it's like, no, these people were friends like for a long time. Yes. They understood each other. They're vastly different.
And Taiju is a steadfast good boy.
Oh my God.
And he is 10 billion% good at that. Yeah. And one of the other things though is that it also kind of indirectly sets a stage for what the theoretical far off in the future end goal of the show could be.
Sure.
Because if Senku is basically helping them restart civilization, right? Or at least get the ball rolling, right?
Right, absolutely.
Then theoretically, what if eventually he was still able to go to space?
I love it.
They do everything. They save humanity. They do all the stuff, and he keeps going.
He takes humanity to the stars.
Yeah, he takes humanity to the stars. You know, like
I love it. I love it.
In a Gurren Lagann, even if
sure,
you know, if they want to, right?
Yeah. And it'll be that moment where he's like, you know, like he's got his first thing that's like orbiting the Earth or what have you. And then he starts to use a little bit of propulsion for it to kind of stay in a specific spot. And then coming past, and he just has this thing catch it, and he brings it back, and it's just like, it's still his.
Oh, sure.
Still the little thing.
Yeah.
He's just like, I did it.
I was going to say that
he lets it go past into orbit.
That he's as an old man sitting on a beach with, you know, and some kid comes up to him and doesn't realize who he is.
He's really tapping full Gurren Lagann.
Hey. Started at the bottom, go to the top. Like,
I mean, this is going to be a shonen, though, where he's going to be this age, though, for a very long time.
Oh, totally. Like, but they're basically playing Civilization. Like
they are.
You know, they need to make their settlement. There's other people
Alpha
out
Centauri,
there.
Let's go.
Right. They just ran into their first, other camp, right, that they're going to run into. Maybe they can find some technology there or whatever.
Yeah, it's the really unfortunate start to Civilization where you're like, wait. Instead of just hitting B and just building my city immediately because turn order and what have you, I'm going to adjust things a little bit, and you bump into like a barbarian, like little tribe thing or what have you, and it's like, oh, if I deploy my city here, it'll reveal. But I mean, it's not going to turn into, you know, an actual like hostile thing. It's just going to give me a map or something, right? Nope. Turns into a hostile thing, and they immediately plunder your city you first built. You lose the game immediately. GG, everyone, game over. I mean, that doesn't actually happen ever, but
but that is why they need to make sure that they either, get more people broken out of the stone,
right,
and or start making babies very soon,
or make an alliance here.
Yes,
I actually really want to believe in the power of Nakama specifically for this moment here. I think that what happened here was we actually humanized Tsukasa just a little bit.
We did.
He looked at Senku and was like, you know, if we weren't in this stone world, if, you know, we had met before this, you know, I think you would have been my first friend. Because he said first friend, that is the moment where I was like, oh,
wait, they're
setting up development. Yeah. Our boy here, he doesn't have any friends.
What's that you got there? Oh, nothing. power of friendship.
Yeah.
Like,
you thought weapons of science were strong.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard of these words? Wait.
Nakama.
No, wait, what am I quoting? I'm accidentally quoting something.
Wait.
Have you ever heard these words, villain? Oh, yes. Yes, it's All Might,
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever heard these words?
Plus Ultra, yeah.
Behold, the power of friendship! And then he just uppercuts him. And he's like, oh, my heart.
Yeah. So
it started beating again.
Yeah, you don't need to beat fantasy with the power of science. Beat fantasy with the power of Nakama.
And Nakama.
Yeah.
I want that so badly. Because I love the idea of a villain, or an antagonist, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But rather than that, him being someone with an alternate perspective on things where he's like, yeah, I don't want to go back to a tainted civilization where we were at war with each other constantly and we were destroying everything.
And maybe,
out of greed or what have you.
Well, or at the very least, I had no friends and I probably fought for a living. Now think about that. They could, like, because
they gave us kind of a little tease of his backstory. They gave us a little tease.
Now with how Tsukasa was at the beginning, I'm like, okay, it's just part of the premise, right? You've got Senku, he's super smart, and Taiju, he's super good boy. I can, my constitution score is the highest. And then you've got Tsukasa, who is the pillar man, punch lions and kill them, right? Mm-hmm. But if you were to take that to some kind of serious sense, like they did with Senku's backstory of developing the science and whatnot, what would have brought Tsukasa to the point where
that was even a thing
at his age? He's in this kind of situation, right? It probably wasn't a positive one. Like, there's probably some reasons why he really doesn't want things to go back to the way they were. He comes from a family
of MMA fighters, and he just had all the perfect genes and everything lined up. So he's been training since he was 8 years old how to fight.
Maybe not because of his own choice either.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things,
he is a smart boy. Like, we've seen him have moments where we're like, how do you know all that?
Right? Yeah. How do you know that? Like, what goes into making gunpowder? Like Senku definitely didn't tell you that. And it's something where because of the fact that, like, they're in this situation, right? The whole world is stoned. 3,700 years later, all that. This in some ways could be the way that they bring up the society, kind of like people in these situations where survival is a high priority and it's not guaranteed.
Right.
They could have things where, people become different people. And the fact that Tsukasa is this person that he is now, that might just be because, he's in this situation that is not a good situation.
Yeah.
But maybe, if he had a true visionary, a true Nakama that could show him a different path, then maybe he could become a friend.
But that cliffhanger.
We
are left with the question as to what happened.
Right.
And what will be the way that Senku survives this. Because Senku didn't die here.
Well, okay, hold on. Now, I know he's the main character, and I know it's only episode 4, but, like, we even had a Hot Springs episode. So, like, they've checked off quite a few things from the anime bucket list already, Like, maybe Senku does die here, and that's the end of the show. Or they carry on without him, and he's told them enough. Taiju tries to remember.
Like, you're impressive that you can keep going on with this. But like, no.
So what are they doing instead? I think it's going to be
I think it's going to be either where he knocks him out, and he hits him really hard there.
Yeah.
And then he either basically takes away all the ingredients by which they had for gunpowder there. Or he basically, like, leaves leaves Yuzuriha there with a message and basically says, if you come down from this mountain or what have you, if you leave this area, I will kill you.
Oh.
But, as long as you're willing to basically, like, stay in your specific area, I will go and I will guide humanity, and you will just stay here. Maybe your passion for your specific thing triggered something in my backstory, in my specific character, where I'm like, okay, you're good because you didn't give up on your passion even.
Right, I respect that.
I respect that. Mm-hmm. And also, freaking Yuzuriha with her badass moment, just like, no, don't tell him. He needs you alive.
Right. Your stats may be stamina and strength and intelligence. Mine is courage, heart, you know,
courage
something
and
like that.
Heart, yeah.
Right. She
Holy
got,
crap.
yeah. The anime girl also got the haircut. We got hot springs. We got haircut. We got talk about Nakama. We got sudden backstory. That was not expected. And then so you know the many things could happen here. Also, since they established that there was the other person with the smoke signals,
yes,
they could also do something where because we heard a sound, right, and it sounded like someone getting sliced.
Yeah.
What if it was something where it was the person that basically came and found them because of their smoke signals, and they had a crossbow or something, and because Tsukasa wasn't looking, right, because he was focused on something else, they actually managed to hit him, and then he's wounded, and then he has to, run away or something, right?
I like the idea of that being something where someone else interferes, or here's what I think it would be, maybe, is that he hasn't been looking at the smoke signals for the other ones yet.
Sure.
But he sees that there's a bunch of them, and he realizes, wait, these are variables I don't know about yet.
Yeah.
I actually want to make an alliance here, or I need to go deal with them and make contact first.
Right.
Before I deal with Senku. Because Senku, at the very least, he's like, I don't think he's going to be
an immediate problem.
An immediately aggressive problem. The main problem he has is that he will advance technology to the point where civilization will go beyond the control of the most
strong.
Advanced primate, high schooler.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's anyone's guess, I guess, at this point as to what makes him not kill Senku.
Because whatever they do, they need to do it in a way that makes us feel like it doesn't jeopardize what Tsukasa has set up till this point. Maybe have it be a change, possibly, right? Because of what Senku is displayed here and everything, but still feel in line with the character. So if he's still an enemy,
right?
Make him still seem like the terrifying badass, or make him still seem, like have all these things still be set up,
right?
But then maybe he, for whatever reason, chooses not to, even though Senku is a big problem for him, right? Because he's not going to change his perspective on whether adults should be woken up, unless maybe it's perhaps with you leading the charge, then we could avoid the same mistakes of the past or whatever.
I love that he's basically saying you wouldn't lie to science or what have you, and there's almost this sadness in Tsukasa's face and his eyes as he's realizing that he's going to have to do this, and saying, you may have been my first friend, and just the idea of him being like, I accept that. I think it's 100%,
10 billion%,
10 billion% that at the very least, what he did there was something that either gave Senku a haircut as well.
No, he wouldn't dare.
Or he hit him with the butt end of his of his weapon.
Yeah.
But the one thing I guess I haven't brought up, because I almost hope it's not this, is the Senku is like, you pitiful fool. I knew that you would go after my specific spot at my neck there. So I had
a dagger that
I had a thing that was, specifically planted there underneath my...
No, he's not going to Aizen this.
No, exactly. So that's the only other thing that's silly I can think of.
Well, and the thing is, the sound was the sound of flesh being torn. So, something in that range is probably going to happen.
It doesn't have to be, though.
It doesn't have to be. They could just be like, we were just juking you out.
Yeah. So... y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general. And you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
That's right, sci-fi. So the science is definitely not real, unlike this with all the making gunpowder and stuff. Very cool. But it's called Battle Lines, and it's awesome, and it's on Amazon. Link in the description down below in both hardback and ebook. Go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.